A lot of us confuse chemistry with connection, and we're wasting our time hoping someone will wake up and choose us. And I'm here to tell you, you got to choose you first before anybody else can choose you. Okay? Hello. Welcome back to Dr. Frida's Power Session. It's the podcast where we reclaim our power one truth at a time. I'm Dr. Frida, and I'm your favorite certified transformational life and relationship coach. Now, let's get right into it because we only have 30 minutes. I don't want to disrespect your time. I don't want to disrespect my time. So, let's get into it. If you clicked on this video, you already know what we talking about. And today we talking about situationships versus relationships. So if you're tired of settling, ready to elevate, and if you want a relationship that match your energy, you're in the right place, okay? And I want to say a relationship that matches your energy. And I want to level set right now. Every relationship is going to look different. The way my relationship is with my partner is going to be completely different with my best friend or my sister or anyone else in my life relationships. And sometimes we like to form our relationships based on what society deemed as right or as what our friends may think is popular or whatever makes us look appealing or acceptable in our friend group or family group. And I'm here to say you have to do what's best for you. Only you know, and that partner knows, okay? So your relationship is your relationship, and that's it, okay? So be careful when you tell people your business, because once you tell people your business, then you invite them into the relationship. Now I digress. So today's episode, we're going to talk about situationships versus relationships and knowing the difference. And what, if any, if you want a relationship or you want to turn that situationship into a relationship, maybe it can, maybe it cannot. It depends. Maybe you don't want it, that situationship to turn into that relationship. But either way, we're going to get all into it. So I want you to know too, because too many of us, when we talk about situationships and relationships, a lot of us confuse chemistry for a connection. Okay. And we get so infatuated and in love with the idea of being in love or the idea of being in a relationship that we miss all the red flags, which I talked about last week, or we sometimes end up in a situationship by accident. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm gonna get into a little bit later. Like you start off with good intentions of thinking it's gonna be a relationship, and then it end up in a 11 to 4 situationship. And I'm getting into that later. When I say 11 to 4, it's booty call hours, okay? 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. But a lot of us confuse chemistry with connection. And we're wasting our time hoping someone will wake up and choose us. And I'm here to tell you, you got to choose you first before anybody else can choose you. Okay? Because a person, whether it's a male or a female, whatever, whoever they identify as, they want to know why they want to choose you. What makes you better than the other billion people on this planet, right? So before you want to be chosen or get in that relationship, where is your relationship with yourself? Have you chose you first? Do you know how to date you? Because it's hard for you to teach your partner how to treat you and how to date you if you haven't even done that yourself. When the last time you took yourself out on a date? When the last time you laughed at your own jokes? When was the last time you had just a conversation with yourself? Like knowing yourself. Just some questions to ask yourself. So let's set the record straight. And let's start with the obvious. I like to get the definitions because We can't just say words and assume that everyone knows what we're talking about, okay? So, what is a situationship? And we all have our own definition, but it all boils down to this. It's that murky space where you're kind of dating, but not really. You're doing the relationship things, you spending time, you might be talking daily, you may even be intimate, but there is no commitment and there's no direction and there's usually no clarity when it's a situationship. And the reason why there's no clarity because the person that's usually driving the situationship don't want to be held accountable for that title because with that title becomes responsibility, right? And sometimes they're already responsible to someone else and you just the situation just have something on the side. It's just, we just having fun, right? It's all fun and games until it's not fun anymore. And it always happen where someone in that situation get the short end of the stick. Always. Either somebody gonna always fall in love or somebody is going to get their feelings hurt. Somebody is gonna like somebody more than the other person. Somebody gonna disrespect somebody. And when that happened, you want to pull for that. Well, we doing this. No, we ain't on a relationship. This is a situationship. It's a difference. I'm not committed to you. We're just having fun. That's when it starts to get murky. And that's when feelings get hurt. I'm not saying situationships are good or bad. I'm not here to judge that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm here to help you decipher what's best for you. Because sometimes the situationship might be best for you at that time in your life. And sometimes some people just can't do situationships. They can only do relationships. That's what I'm saying earlier. You have to find that relationship that coexists for you, not for me, or not for your parents, or not for your friend group, or not for society. What coexists for you? If you can't be authentic with yourself, then why are you even doing this? Life is too short, right? So I'm just here to educate and empower you on making the best decisions for your life. That's it. So now that we know what a situationship is, it's that murky in between where it's no commitment, but it's no clarity as well. So we having fun, okay? And we all heard this before. Either you said it or somebody has told you. Or maybe you heard somebody say it, okay? One of the famous lines is, I'm not looking for anything serious. Come on, that's an oldie but a goodie. Not looking for anything serious. How about this one? Let's just go with the flow. We just having fun. Let's just go with the flow. Wherever it takes us, right? Or what about this one? We vibing, right? You a vibe, I'm a vibe. We just vibing. Nothing serious. And like I said, it's not a right or a wrong thing. It's just what's right for you. If you want to vibe with a vibe, then that's okay. But how long are you going to vibe with that vibe before you want something else different? And if you do want something else different, does the person you vibing with want that too? That's when the waters get murky. Okay. I'm a big proponent of laying the cards out on the table. I'm an over communicator. That's who I am. And if you do want to do a situationship, let's do this 6 months to a year or till one of us get tired and it is what it is. Or you can go in, I'm not looking for nothing serious right now. But if it does turn into serious, I do want to have that conversation with you. You cannot assume that the person you are dealing with is on the same accord with you. That's when the communication comes in. That's why situationships is purposefully confusing, right? It's really no clarity, right? We have these little moments where we vibing. Okay, we vibing, but you mad at him or you mad at her when you're on their social media and they taking pictures with somebody else. It's a situation. Why you get mad? So it's one of the you can't have it both ways. Either you gonna be in a situation or you gonna have the relationship, or you're not gonna have either one. And it's okay. Again, it's okay. I'm here to educate you to make the best decision for your life. That's it. This is a judge free zone over here. These little 30 minutes power sessions, I'm coming to you real and raw, non-judgmental. Period. So the problem with situations is you're emotionally invested. A lot of people, even people who say I can have sex without getting emotionally tied, and some people can do that, and some people can't. Some people can. Some people think they can, but they end up getting tied up. But either way, you're emotionally invested in some way. Even if you're emotionally not invested, you're investing your time. And I don't play by my time. Time's something you can never get back. Period. So you're emotionally invested, but they're non-committal. So you're investing your time, sometimes your resources, sometimes your body, your finances, depending, insert here what you're investing in. And there's no commitment. And I'm not saying you do something to get something in return, but in this scenario or situationship, you want something in return because that's when you want to ask yourself, what is your ultimate goal in this situationship? Is it to just you got out of a bad relationship and you just trying to get your self-esteem back and you just in this situationship? Have at it. Or, you just dating trying to figure out what you want, have at it. Whatever it is, that's your prerogative. I just want you to know what the ground levels are. Like what's out there. What's the field saying? And I'm gonna sidebar this because I had a coworker. This was years ago, and he had just got out of like a 22-year marriage, and he found out his ex-wife now was cheating on him with her coworker, and he felt so resentful and mad because they were high school sweethearts, but they had taken a break. He went off to college, she didn't. She ended up having a child, and they reconnected after graduation, after he graduated from college, and he basically adopted her child, married her, put her through school, and built a life. Fast forward, she was cheating on him with her coworker because she got a better job now. I think she was in the finance industry too. And so he just felt so like disempowered. And I was like, and he was just coming to work and was saying, like, well, I did this for her and I did that. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute now. Because my thing is, if you're in a relationship, it's a certain level of expectation that you're going to give and take anyway. Sometimes it's going to be a 50-50, sometimes a 60-40, sometimes a 30-70, right? So don't give me the laundry list of everything you did because I'm quite sure she did some things too, right? What you really mad at is that you invested in something and you didn't get your dividends back. That's what you're really mad at. Now that we level set, he was like, well, she was my first love and everything, and I just want to play the field. Great. If that's what you really want to do, I can help you do that. Well, if you want to be in another relationship, I can help you with that. If you want to just play the field to get your confidence back, I can help you do that. My job is not to judge anybody. My job is to, like I said, educate power, and that's anybody, right? So I gave him some high level things, when you going into this situationships, right? It went in one ear out the other. This man was dating in relationships with these women. They knowing where he's staying. He going on family vacations. And it got so murky that he was talking to two women in his building. And I was just like, what? That is not what I said. What is happening? Like, and I had to reel it all the way in. What do you really want? What is your soul longing for? Because right now you're making decisions that are not beneficial for you and the longevity, like in your future. And he just came clean. He was like, I don't want to be alone. I just want companionship. And from there, he set the stage where, okay, now I can really help you where you are. Okay. Because not wanting to be alone and just trying to get your self esteem back, there's kind of like two different avenues you're going to take with that. It's two different avenues, and that's okay. And so, long story short, he found, the love of his life, and they're married now and just had a baby. So I'm just saying you have to be very honest and transparent with yourself, because when you're investing your time, your emotions, your finances to a situation or to a person that's not committing to you, then you're gonna have to accept the repercussions that's gonna come from it, right? Because if you're not careful, you're gonna start to shrink your standards to just keep the vibe. When you say, well, I would never talk to someone who does X, Y, and Z, and you would find yourself in a situationship where you're settling for things that you don't even like, because it boils down that you don't want to be by yourself. And that's okay too, because we weren't created to be an island. We have to have these connections because we all interconnected in some way. But it's just how you go about doing that interconnecting, right? So we talked about situationships. Let's talk about what makes a relationship, okay? So contrasting from a situationship, a relationship is more intentional. You're intentional with your time. You're intentional with your conversations. You're intentional with just how you move, your future plans, things of that nature. And a healthy relationship includes clarity. The people in the relationship both know where they stand. So if you all want to have a future together, if you all see marriage, if you all want to have kids, if you all want to, yes, there's clarity. There is nothing murky about it. That is something that you're building towards together, right? There's constant communication. You talk about your needs, your values, your goals, your dislikes, right? In a relationship, you're open and you're feeling open to communicate more. You have commitment. You make the mutual choice to build together. It's not just you building the bricks on their end, and then this person building their bricks on their end, and then you all come together at night and then talk about what y'all be. No, but if that's what you want to do, that's okay too. But this is a relationship where you all are building together. Okay? A relationship has consistencies. Their words actually matches their actions. And if it doesn't, you have that communication to hold that person accountable. But if it's a situation shit, what you holding accountable? Like, I'm not committed to you, you're not committed to me. We're just having a good time. But in a relationship, we're both held accountable because we're both building and want more for each other together. So relationships, there's no guessing game. And if it's a guessing game, then something else is going on. Okay. And now we starting talking about the gaslighting and the love bombing. That's something totally different. That's a conversation for a different day. With a healthy relationship, there's no confusion. A healthy relationship is rooted in shared values, emotional safety, and intentional growth. So ask yourself, are we aligned or am I just attached? Let me say that one more time. Are we aligned or am I just attached? And it's okay. It's okay, because I don't want people to think that, oh my God, like, I don't want you to shame yourself, because I'm not gonna ever shame you. If you're just attached because you don't want to be by yourself, own that. The only way that you can grow from is to grow out, meaning you have to at least recognize it to grow out of it. You can't make believe and pretend like everything is okay. And it could be okay for you. And it could not be. But just ask yourself, are you aligned with the person or persons you're dealing with? Or are you just attached? And if you are attached, let's go in deeper than why you are attached. Okay. So, why do we settle for situationships? So, let's unpack why people stay stuck in situationships. Like I said, whether you want to be in one or not, there's neither here or there. If you want something more, then you have to do something different than what you did to get into that, right? But let's just talk about now how people get stuck or sucked into these situationships. So it's not just about the other person, it's about what we believe we deserve. Ooh, word right there, baby. It's not about the other person, it's what we believe we deserve. Do you deserve you worth it? Do you believe that you worth it? Do you believe that the standards you set for yourself is going to come into the 3D world? Do you believe that that person or persons that you were manifesting is out there? Do you believe that? Do you believe that you even deserve that person you manifesting? Because our words is different from what we actually feel and believe. Okay? So these are some real reasons why people have conversations with themselves. The fear of being alone. I mentioned that earlier. Low self-worth. Romanticizing the potential. Let me tell you what they always say, people marry potential. If that person never changed, that's the person you're gonna be with. But we romanticize how we perceive this person can be, right? I talked about that last week. Avoiding vulnerability or rejection. It's easy to get into a situationship if you don't have to have the consequence of being rejected. And it's easy because we having fun and it's lighthearted. We not, ain't nobody taking it serious. Because if we did take it serious and now we got feelings involved, but what you really don't know is feelings are already involved. So sometimes we stay because it's familiar. You know, that person have this energy in your life where it's familiar to you and you don't want to disrupt that. It's easier to pretend it's something than to admit that nothing is real. Okay? It's really easy. But this is a reminder. If it costs you your peace and self-respect, it's too expensive. Nothing should ever cost you your peace or your self-respect. Because if it does, that person or that situation is not for you. But you also have to know what you deserve before you even make that analysis that I'm being disrespected. Okay? So, how do we tell the difference between the situationship and the relationship? Let's run through a few real life markers, okay? So, a situationship, you avoid the talk. You know, we all know that, like, hey, when you get home or when I see you, we got to talk. Situationships, we ain't talking. What we talking about? What time you coming over? What we talking about, right? Situationships, you feel anxious or unsure after spending time together. Y'all pillow talking and somebody gotta go. And then you wondering left like, well, is it more? Could it be more? But you're too afraid to even have that conversation with that person. How about you're not included in their real life, their friends, their family, their events? Like I said, you on the gram looking at they family barbecue that you weren't invited to. You weren't invited to because you non-existent. Nobody know you exist, baby. And it's okay. Like these are things that you need to know to make the decisions best for your life. This is called reality check, okay? Or you're hoping for more, but they're avoiding it. You're always hoping, like, well, I don't know, maybe they're gonna do this, or maybe they're gonna remember my birthday. Are you serious? No, stop it. They won't. They won't. And if they do, they have a good Rolodex. Ooh, telling my age. Anyway, what's a relationship? You feel safe, seen, and valued. Even if that person makes mistakes, which relationships goes in ebbs and flow, you still feel valued. You still feel like the top priority in that person's mind, right? You talk about the future together. You both contribute emotionally, right? It's not just one-sided, or you don't feel like you have to hold back who you are to feel accepted by this person. And you have boundaries and mutual respect for each other, not just one way, for each other. So the key is one gives you peace and clarity, and the other one gives you confusion and discord. Okay? So again, it's solely up to you because this is your life that you are actually living through. Okay? So I want to leave you with some power questions, whether you're driving or looking at this at your desk or whatever. You can pause it and come back. But I really want to ask you some questions so you can, at a later time, a later date, just journal and just, even if you don't want to write it, just talk it out with yourself, because these are some questions that is not meant for your friends or anybody. This is meant for you because this is your life, is your relationship, your situationship, whatever, right? First question is, am I being honest about what I want? And only you can answer that. The second question is this connection helping me grow or holding me back? The third question is, do I feel emotionally safe with this person? And the last question is, am I compromising my needs to keep someone around? And these four questions, they're not meant to be shared with anybody but yourself, because I want you to be very transparent with yourself. You can lie to the world, you can lie to everybody, but when the lights go down and when you lay your head on that pillow, it's just you and that conscience. I need you to be completely clear and transparent with yourself. And answering those four questions will give you some insight of where you need to go next. I don't tell people what they need to do. I empower and educate people to make the best decisions for their lives. That's all. That's the type of coaching I do. That's it. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to steer. I'm here to educate and empower. That is it. These questions that I just gave you, they're not easy. I know they're not easy, but they will lead you to the truth that you're seeking. Okay? So let's be real. You can't manifest a meaningful relationship if you keep entertaining confusion. It's time to stop giving commitment level energy to casual situations. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say about that. So get clear on what you want and stop accepting less than that. That's one thing I will always tell each of my clients. You are so much more worth than what you're giving yourself credit for. You treating yourself. Sometimes I see people treating themselves like, I don't know, one of them fake diamonds at the beauty supply store. And you really are a diamond. Treat yourself. You need to carry yourself in such a way. Okay? You're not hard to love. And you're not asking for too much. You're just asking, you may just be asking from the wrong person. And that's okay. If you want to work with me 101, you can head over to my website and you can book your free 30-minute discovery call. Again, 30 minutes. Look, time is money. Money is time. So go ahead over there to my website, book a 101 discovery call. I do have self-paced 8-week program for you to dump the old relationship and manifest the relationship you deserve. It is an 8-week, technically 10 weeks, but it's an 8-week course. And it's only 10 weeks because you have 2 101 calls with me as well, which is a fabulous deal. But if this episode hit home for you or anybody that's watching it, share with someone who needs to hear it. And please don't forget to subscribe. Leave a review. I welcome comments, but be kind. Everybody, just be kind. Look, now, don't come here and play no games now. But I also have a free empowerment community that you can join on my website. And this community is co-ed, but it's a community where people voices can actually be heard, especially right now in a lot of this clutter that we're going through. This is also where you will have exclusive information and gifts from me in this community. And I will come in there weekly giving talks. I will answer questions, but it's a great community forum that is private. So you would need a passcode to get in it, because, we respect everyone, whatever walk of life you come from. We're all connected, believe it or not. So head over to the website, join that free community as well, and we'll have deeper conversations as well as exclusive coaching tools that I will provide for you all. So that is my 30 minutes, and I am so grateful that you were able to spend your 30 minutes with me. Until next time, stay rooted in your worth, stay bold in your truth, And remember, you are worth everything plus more. I'm Dr. Frida, and I'll see you next week.